Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the Life Projects with Ifiansa. My name is Ifiansa. Alright guys, so in today's video, if you've been following the series, we've been talking about working drawings and what you should look out for as a lay person. So in today's video, we're going to talk about water supply design, or sometimes it's called a plumbing plan. So it doesn't, I don't know, depending on where you are in the world, you might either call it a water supply plan or a plumbing plan. Now, in this particular floor plan, one of the first things you need to note is where basically where your water supply is. Now, how you know where your water supply is anywhere at all on your floor plan or in your home where you would use water. Okay, so be it your bathrooms, where your WCs are, where your sinks are, if you have a kitchen, if you have a kitchenette, if you have, like a random sink somewhere in the house, you need to have that on your water supply plan so that your plumber will know where to lay your pipes and how to go about it. So for this particular plan, we have the water supply in 4 main areas. Okay, on this floor, it's in 4 main areas. So down here where the guest washroom is, that's 1. Here where the guest bathroom is, that's 2. Now where the kitchen is, that's 3. And then the back here, which is a BQ, people call it different things. Some call it a boys' quarters, some call it just an extra room. I don't know, here the plan says maid's room, whatever you want to call it. So here is your 4th one. This is within the floor plan. Now, if you remember, the first plan we looked at in this series was the block plan. So for the block plan, you need to think about where your water supply would also be on the outside of your house. Okay, so if at the back of the house you want to have a tap there where you can do, like a service area where you can wash clothes and things like that, that tap needs to be indicated on your plan as well. If it's going to be on the side of the house, you might want one at the back and one at the front. If you want to be able to wash your cars and stuff like that, having one at the front can be very useful as well. So first things first is to just know where it is going to be located in your house, right? Now, the next thing, which for me is very key, is the distance between some of the things. So let's use this guest washroom, for instance. When you open the door, where is your sink? Where is your WC? Okay, so you need to think about, this is why I talk about door swings a lot and windows and stuff like that. You want to know which way am I opening my door and how are my how is the sanitary ware there going to affect, what's that layout going to look like? Where is the sink in relation to the WC? Where is the door in relation to, both of these? You need to know that. Okay. So for this one, which is a small space, you open the door, the sink is staring at you. So is the WC. And it's fine because it's tucked away in the corner. So someone is unlikely to be passing by when you open the door, so those are some of the things you need to think about. Now here, where there's a shower as well, the room is more of like a longer room, so it was easy to kind of lay everything along one wall. Now you also want to do that a lot, try and lay things along one wall, have things on an exterior wall. And if you have multiple floors, you want to make sure that they are within sort of around the same area, okay, it makes you spend way less because you can use the same pipelines, and yeah, you're just able to cut some costs there when everything is within the same area. So what I mean by the same area, if on your ground floor, your a lot of your plumbing is on your left wall, on your top floor, you want to do well to sort of keep them along that wall as well. It just helps with planning and your costs and all of that. Okay, so here, because there's enough space, right? You want to make sure that sometimes you have a plumber come in and your shower, your WC, and your sink are so close to each other, and there's a lot of space in the room. Use the room properly, kind of spread them out a little bit. So when you're in the shower, or if the two people happen to be in there, someone is in the shower, someone is, brushing their teeth or whatever, there's enough space. You're just comfortable, in the space. Someone asked me, why would two people be in here? If you have a child, maybe your child is taking a shower and you are brushing your teeth and things like that. It's really normal. Outside the country, sometimes in certain places, like somewhere in the UK, where rooms are usually very small, you have a house where there's only one bathroom. If there's just one bathroom, one toilet, one sink, all in one space, you might not just wait for the next person. So yeah, you want to kind of spread them out if you can. So those are some of the things to think about. You also want to start thinking about what your door swing is as well in relation to these, in relation to your shower, your toilet, your sink. You want to also think about the decor aspect of it as well. Where do you want to have some storage? Do you want to have a cabinet somewhere in there? Do you want your sink to have a nice counter and drawer underneath it? If you do, you want to think about the space that you need for that. If it's a his and hers toilet, if it's a his and hers sink, you want to have that amount of space as well. So just really planning that. For this particular plan, I think I changed it. So the shower is actually along this whole wall. It's not tucked in the corner like this. It's a full shower here. Now let's move to the kitchen. Now in the kitchen, the first thing everyone will think about is the sink. True, your sink is the first water supply you would think about. Now in most homes, people have washing machines. In some countries, there's a laundry room, or in some homes, there's a laundry room. If people think about it early enough, they would put a laundry room there, and then you can put your washing machine. If you're the type to use a dryer, you have your dryer in there. In your kitchen, where you can also put a washing machine, you want to think about where that's going to go. If you have a dishwasher, you want to think about where your dishwasher is going to go. Some people like to have a sink in the island. If you want to do that, you need to think about it from this stage, right? Now, sinks I always recommend to go under the window, just because people stand there. You stand behind the sink a lot to wash dishes. So usually if you're by the window, it's nice to have something to look at. It's nice to just have some, catch some air while you're standing there washing and stuff, So yeah, typically when I design, I put the sink where the window is, right? So yeah, you want to think about all those things from this stage. Yeah, I think for the water supply, it's pretty simple. Another thing you also want to think about is where your poly tanks are placed now, or your water storage. Here in Ghana, most homes have some kind of water storage. We all call it poly tanks. I don't know what other people call it. Poly tank is probably the brand, but we've said that so many times that it's stuck. So what's where your water storage is going to be. Is it going to be on top of your roof? Are you going to create a platform somewhere on your grounds where your water is going to come from. Obviously we have direct supply of water from Ghana Water, but you might also want to have that extra storage just in case one day the water doesn't come, it's not running and stuff like that. You have water on site to be able to use, so you just want to be able to think about that. Yeah, I think that's about it for the water supply plan. It's pretty simple. Plumbing water supply plan is pretty simple. You just need to think about some of these things. Where do you want your window? If there's a window in the room, you might, sometimes you don't have a choice, for a space, let's say like this, your window can only be here, right? And that's where your shower is. So you want to make it high that anyone passing or, anyone who's walking behind there isn't just staring into your bathroom. You want to be able to put blinds and stuff there as well. So yeah, just knowing where you can put your window so it's not in the way of everything. Yeah, I think here we ended up closing. There was a window here initially. We ended up closing that because who wants a window above their sink? If you put it there, where are you going to put your mirror? So there's little things like that. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you can follow along on this series. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely week. Take care. Goodbye.